Hey guys, it's Johnny Roman, and we have something a little different for you today. It's a NIMCON 8 model contest. This is really cool. You got a little bit of everything going on here. I took the day and went to this show. It was fantastic. There are some crazy, amazing builders here. And if you haven't built a model in a while, I'd say take a look at this and you will be surprised. Ready? Man, the workday's over and it's time to escape. Man, that was a long day at work. Let's go into the corner of the garage. I cleaned out a space where we can escape to our childhood, to creativity, to the wildness of model making. This was the time and the place. And look at that price tag. You can't even barely buy anything for $1 anymore. We're in the garage and we're rocking it tonight.
The cardboard box to put my stuff in. Yeah. I made all that stuff myself.
I see those things a lot. Every time I see it, I always find something new. I'm like, man, that's awesome. How'd you do that?
Yeah. I mean, every time I'm looking, I'm like, oh, hey, there's a guy laying on the ground.
And the busted street line,
yeah,
that's just a car bulb. I just wrapped it in a piece of paper and smashed it with a hammer and threw the debris down there. It still smells like the caulk that's holding it together.
Yeah.
You can still smell.
When you open it up, like, whoa, boy, that smells.
Yeah, it takes that soul.
Smell that for a while,
time to dry. But yeah, that's what it's all held together with caulk.
Wow, that's awesome.
Please don't drop your camera.
I won't. I got
it would be a disaster. Even though I did bring crazy glue.
I like that. I don't know why, but the person that stands out the most is the dude laying right there. I don't know why, that's just the SS guy laying there. I don't know why I think that's...
Yeah, I don't like making them too morbid, you know.
Yeah, you don't want their head missing or something.
Yeah, but you gotta have some kind of blood and guts.
War ain't nice.
So I got 7 dead guys, you know. I got the 2 Russians on the end, I got these 2 here, and I got 2 over there.
I didn't even see this guy here.
Yeah, you can't really see this guy either. He's
yeah. Wow. Excellent, man. Very cool, thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem.
That's awesome.
Oh, let me grab one more. I was sending my girlfriend pictures of it. Some of them had the glare on it. But this is like the best time to get some pics when I get the top on.
You won't get any glare.
Yeah.
This diorama was crazy cool with the details like you wouldn't believe. Oh, and I didn't even capture all of it, but you get the idea. He had depth and dimension. He had holes like that manhole cover that was open and it went into a void space. And even in the building, he had the basement kind of hinted at with a cement slab missing. He made all these walls himself. And he also buried in the rebar into those walls. He is selling walls, and here's his name and number. If you are interested in getting more information on these walls, check it out.
You know, I mean, Hollywood. You know.
Oh, this was a killer display. This was for display only of different variations of the Batmobile. And let me tell you, there were some fun builds here. And again, some of these were for contests. And let me tell you again, I'm telling you, this was a great day. If you guys have a model contest in your area, I would suggest going because you never know the talent that is out there, and you can see it just by all these different builds. Some were, again, for contest. Some were just for display. They also had vendors here where you could buy models and paints and tools, and they had raffles, and this is really good. They do it once a year right about this time, mid to late June, and It just blows my mind the talents and skills out there by these artisans that are building these model kits. Now even some are plastic, some are resin, some are hand-built, some are wood, some are paper even, and the paper ones were crazy. Look at Batman sitting there. I'm digging this. I'm such a geekoid when it comes to models. I know, we like toy cars in the toy car case, but every once in a while you gotta kind of get a little variety in life. Oh, and this was 2 rooms of model kits. Now this was early on and late, but they had every different category you could think of, and these models would be coming in throughout the day. Now I stayed there most of the day, but had to get cut out and get back to Big Mama, Trixie, and Soda Pop. But let me tell you, this was a great day. Yes, I did stop at garage sales on the way there and back. Oh, this plane, all those propellers went spinning when you flicked a switch, and it actually had live broadcasting of the actual flight going into the invasion. Oh, look at this. That is crazy. I do believe this is one of the paper dioramas. That was paper. This is paper. Someone is like totally rocking it with paper. Oh, look at this, a dragon wagon. I'm digging this. It's so cool. And again, this was tiny. Now each one of these sheets of paper that are in front of the models, that's a 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So you can get the idea of the size of these kits. They were scaled all over. Look at the details in this. A little airplane tail end on that. Oh, that is just so cool. Look at this. I forgot what his name was, but the happy painter guy. Look at that. It's just like he had his whole painting. This was in the figures. Look at this, the details on these. Now here's a picture, and this guy literally, or woman, built this exact to scale to that picture. Oh, and this was in a light box, and yeah, you get glare and flare and all that stuff. Trying to get the angle right, but oh, there, it's pretty good. But look at that picture. And then he built a model just like that. Here's King Kong against a dinosaur. Very cool. Looks box stock, but I don't know. It could be a custom. And again, there's all different categories: kids and juniors and teens, and it's just a little. Look at Frankie here. There were a couple different Frankie kits. Okay, kids, look away. Okay, almost done. Poison Ivy there. Oh, and here's some dragons. Again, these are all painted up. Plastic kits. Look at the action in that. That is great stuff. Now here's Scary Kids. This is kind of a monster thing. If you're kind of squeamish, you want to look away, but this is what this person built. And it's all plastic and maybe things that they custom made to make all the tools and the fight and all his desk getting flipped over. Got a couple rats there. A little morbid, but he's coming out of the bubbling ooze, whatever that is. Oh, look at that scary face, kids. It's like a Frankenstein meets Swamp Thing or something. But again, for all you guys that are builders out there, I give you a lot of credit. I built a while ago. It's been a while since I built, but I love model kits. I love building. Look at that. Got that green ooze all over everything. That is kind of fun. I was just flipping around. I'd shoot these stills for filler. Now, I didn't press the button on that box, but that box opened up and did a little dance or something. Oh, look at that. She's the she kitten. Now, I know these up against the window and the glare gets pretty bad. I'll try and get in close so you can get an idea. Oh, look at that. I mean, that's really good paint job. Look at the painting on this. Here's Johnny. Oh, now this thing is crazy. Watch the screen on this when I turn it on. Ready? Okay. I might have to turn their sound down because of copyrights, but watch this. Look at this. Watch the screen. Look at that. The face comes out and the whole screen is literally bulging out with flashes. You see that? Look at this. And now watch. It recedes back. Ah, is that cool? What is that? I mean, I just... That kind of blew my mind away. And look at Scary Rabbit at the top. Here's some dinosaur and lava. Pretty good. Got a little sunburn on there. And these were little gaming figures that the person stripped down and repainted. And then built the graveyard. This Frankenstein was pretty good. If you look really close. Again, the detail to the painting. He's painting the fingernails in and all the scars. And look, the face has just great coloration on it. I know it's a monster, but this is just a model kit, kids. It's okay. Oh, and look at these, little tiny. Again, these 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but look at the detail. That is... Oh, look at... I love these rusted out junkyard cars. These guys did some great... I was there just after the judges were judging this. They liked the roof on this one. Look at the pattern of the fabric on there, and the tears look pretty real, and the roll-in of the glass on that broken window. That is pretty sweet. Look at the details. Just very authentic looking. Bent up, busted doors. Breaking that glass and making it look really good in scale is really hard to do. There's some good variations here. You know, it's usually safety glass. That's what it looks like. See that on that red one? That's usually the little cubes that it breaks up into, and that's a pretty good scale. Isn't that crazy? Just amazing. I'm telling you, it is so fun to see these things in person, up close. Just look around. Look at how they dented and damaged, rusted it up, missing wheels, jacked up. Look at that vinyl roof torn away. Oh, bullet holes. That's a big bullet hole for that scale. Isn't that cool? It's just... I mean, even when we get the Hot Wheels in that are old and well played with. Oh, look at this. Those headlights are actually on. He got a bulb in there. And I thought the brakes in this one, the glass was pretty good. Pretty sweet. Then you've got some NASCAR, early NASCAR race cars. Look at that Porsche, the driver. Oh, and the A100, love it. I love these things. That is just beautiful. Now, I'm always digging a Model A, and look at this thing. That is all made out of paper. It's paper. Is that crazy? Oh, I'm just digging this show. This is paper. The whole thing is paper. When I first looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good kit. And then I look closer, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, that tread is paper. And then I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, this whole thing is paper. Full engine, fully functioning excavator made out of paper. Oh, this is just... That is crazy. That is crazy skills. That is amazing. I'm digging that one so much. Now, I've always liked these ships and the dioramas that are, you know, sailing in water when they can get it looking just right. Now, some of the water scenes were just amazing. Now, this was just a landscape. There was no anything in there. It's just like, here's my swamp, the front yard. Kind of cool. All that feet in the background, those are from the swap meet part. There were all sorts of vendors there, and this year I didn't go through and videotape. There were some cars I was going to buy and go back, but the guy was gone too fast. Look at this scene. This thing is pretty big, and it came in a glass box, and I am so glad he took the glass box off so you could get some details and great shots of this thing, because man, he put the time and the energy in this. Look at all those figures. This I thought was a really good one. Just a lot of detail, and look at the wood grain on that door and the water stains on the bottom where it wore away. Now I know there's a guy there shooting with a flash, kind of washing out the scene every once in a while, but that's okay. Beautiful stained glass window in there. Oops, some guys. Didn't mean to get those guys in there, but look at these doors. Isn't that crazy? Look how realistic they look. I mean, whoever did this, just total skill and talent. This stuff is really amazing to me. Look at all that. Just, they did a fantastic job on this. Now, I would have loved to have seen it if we could have seen all the way around this, walked on the other side, see if there's anything in the actual building, like the opposing forces. Again, bunch of military. This one was impressive. I really like this one. There are just so many cool things. I always love the half track. Look at that. These cars were huge. This one got a gold star. Look at this. Guys getting prayed for. Oh, look at that. Look at the details on this thing. And when I pull back, look at the water here. Is that cool? Really nicely done. Here's that building again. Just scale, the thing is huge. Amazing, amazing. Look at all the detail on all these guys. That's a real kit. That's a model kit, not a Tommy gun. Oh, I got more of it later. Look at this little guy. Tiny little guy slipped in with some other ones. Look at this. Again, the details are just amazing. Now this is like the latest craze where it's just a section of a tank. So you get a couple guys and then just a cross section of a tank. So you really don't have to build the full thing. I don't know if I'm totally sold on that yet, but pretty cool. Some good old cars. Look at these. The paint jobs are just amazing. They're showroom quality. I could never get that good of a paint job on my kids. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Look at this. Mercedes Gullwing 55. Just so. The details. This was a big kit.
This thing is nice.
I don't know what scale, but it was huge. Look at that. That's like from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Toot Sweet's car. Now look at the details on this one. just amazing. Really fun. I love that one.
Look at this. There's the Mercedes.
You know, big, huge lights on it. Yes.
That's got to go somewhere.
That's a ride.
The guy's got the convertible. You know, the real car.
Oh, look at this. Military bike with a sidecar. Big gun in it. Now I know you guys know what caliber that is. I have no idea. Here's an Indian motorcycle. This was pretty sweet. Let me move around here, see if I can get around. I don't want to butt out these guys. These two guys are just drooling over this thing. It is really cool, kid. Really well done. Look at this. Here's the other side. Oh, look at that. That is just really sweet. Great details. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? This is really... And again, this was a bigger scale kit, but look at the details. Here's the ships. Look at this. Oh, I don't think I could ever do that. That is, look at this. Look at the rigging on that. That is just beautiful. Here it is. Early Baltimore Clipper rig. Look at all the figures on there and all the rigging. I mean, the rigging alone is, what is that, 10, 15 years of being cross-eyed. Now, this was early on, and there weren't a lot of airplanes into the show yet. That's okay. Here's the juniors. I love it that they're, you know, kind of encouraging the juniors. Look at this. Got all crazy with the customization. Oh, I found one of those little airplanes. I love it. Now, this is like a resin dog, but looks pretty good. You know, I don't know. I would love it if they put their ages on. Now, this one said it was a metal kit and refurbished. And these are painting. Those were flat, but painting skills. Look at this thing. Again, I'm such a noob. You guys know what they are. This guy, he needed the weight in the front of the plane so it'd sit right. Now the judges, I mean, even with the juniors, they're looking for all the right things. I thought this one was pretty good. What do you think? Pretty sweet. Nice job. Plaque and a base on it. Now these are fun. These are flat little like reliefs. Oh, here's the King and I or something. For teens. And I think it was the same person that did all the painting on this. But look at the painting. That's some painting skills that they're getting. Look at the little monster kitten. Here's Squirrely. Oh, some of these airplanes are amazing. Adam, I know you know airplanes, and you guys know I know cars better than airplanes, and you know how many times I make a mistake in a car. I'm a goofy goober when it comes to it. But look at these things. They are just totally cool. And look at this one. This German airplane. Now, I'm not pronouncing that, kids. Be careful when you pronounce that. This was a confidential document that came with the plane, which was a personal encounter report, and it talked about what happened to this specific pilot. Isn't this amazing? Now you can read all about this and his signature, and I didn't flip it over or anything, but that's okay. I mean, it was pretty sweet. You know, at a contest, it's like a car show. You don't touch a thing unless there's a sign or they're standing there to tell you. Look at this. There's all the information. You guys can freeze this and, you know, read the parts that are on here. It's pretty cool. Isn't that amazing? This was such a cool model show, and again, this was just north of Crystal Lake on Highway 14 at the college up there, whatever that is. I'm drawing a blank on it as usual. So, look at this. Again, the camouflage, the weathering on these, they just, and you know, everyone's accepted here, which is pretty cool as far as level of skill, and you can see some of these planes and learn from them, and these model builds that are just, it is just, woo-hoo. Yeah, look at this. And again, the different colorations of the nose tips and everything, there's specific campaigns that had specific colorings, and man, these guys study it all up and they know exactly the colors. Right, Adam? Adam, I'm sure you're digging these. I was kind of thinking about you when I was filming these things, and just thought you would really enjoy them. But this is a lot of planes. Now this, I think, is another paper kit. I'm thinking. Look at that. Look at the details. Just beautiful. So cool. Love all the rigging on that. I mean, this is a lot of hard work, all this stuff. Get everything lined up and then tie in all the rigging so it works. It's authentic. And again, just little vignettes of airplanes everywhere. There were ships and subs and sci-fi and miscellaneous. It was just really cool. Look at this thing. Look at all the details on it. I don't know if colors are correct or anything like that. I'm just enjoying the skill levels of the techniques. Do you have a favorite airplane? I like that one in the back with the double fuselage going back to the tail. This one. I always dug those. Now I've seen people customize those into something goofy. Look at these ships. Isn't that nuts? Oh, they're just so majestic and beautiful. It is hundreds and hundreds of hours. These lights are lit up. Now, I don't know if that's the proper scale. I mean, look at the size of the people in cannons. Those lights would be like 6 feet tall. Look at all the rigging on that. I love it. There's another light here, and they're wiring all that and making it work. To me, that is totally cool. Look at the cannons, just all the details. And the life ships, or the safety ships, what do they call? Lifeboats? Look at all this rigging. I'm telling you, that is just true craftsmanship. Oh, this aircraft carrier. Look at the details on this thing. I'll try and go slow. Let me start at one end here. Look at that airplane with a float on it. That is so cool. And the cranes lifting it up. And all the deck hatches. And I never realized there was actually launching on the gun turrets. Look at all these details. Look at this gunner's nest at the top to try and defend off the ship. Just so cool. All sorts of different lifeboats with cranes that are just lifted over the side if needed. Look at the decking on it. Just beautiful. And the rails. I'm telling you, the rails on that were just so tiny. Isn't this gorgeous? Ah, Come on, kids. I know this is an upper level skill model, but you know, you got to start somewhere. Some of the Snap-Tight kits are really good. Tom Daniel, I saw some come in a box. Woohoo, look at this guy. But some Tom Daniel kits coming into a box, and I'm going to find those and video those. Those are good kits to start on. Look at the details on this. This was a tiny... I mean, each one of those airplanes and crafts are very small. I wish I had something in scale. Well, there's 8.5 wide right there, so you're maybe an inch on those planes or smaller. Look at that details. That is just beautiful, I think. It always fascinated me. And then you've got the water below and all the weathering on the deck where the planes were hitting and the rubber was burning off. Look at this one with the helipad on it. Got some lifeboats on the side. Now these are all in cases. I gotta take it kind of at an angle. Hope that they show up pretty good on your screens. But again, this is total nerd fest. I mean, these are guys that, you know, we all sit in the dark for most of the time, and we come out once a year at a big model show and show all our work. Very cool to see. Oh, look at that. This one was, look at this. He's got all the details and all the inners of that airplane, all the framework. Look at the buckles are even properly painted and in position. This is just, the detail to me was outstanding. All the framework. They took it all off. And that's, I'm guessing that's all scratch built. Let's see here. Yep, scratch built. Controls and trunk. There were a lot of planes. This is a high-end plane. I forget the manufacturer, but again, you airplane guys, you know the planes, you know if the markings are correct or not, or the colors are correct. But just beautifully done. Look at the pilot in there. Really well done on the weathering on that. Look at this little U.S. Air Force plane. That's pretty cool. I don't know if those are the right colors or not, but I'm guessing they are. And then they got judges going around judging every category, giving gold, silver, bronze. They've got a best of show, and then they've got a people's best of show. Look at the details, just so cool. This is 1/44 scale. This is nuts. This is all this guy builds, and let me tell you, he's using cat whiskers to. His cat will drop a whisker, and he'll be like, "Hey, look, it's an antenna for something." He's like, they're sturdy and strong. But here's all the information on this plane. It only had a small run, and there was only a few built. And again, he knows all the stuff on this. You can pause this again and read up on this airplane that he built. It's just amazing. He speaks several different languages, and well-educated guy. Totally cool. He and his wife come to the model shows all the time. It's a great couple. They travel, do a lot of museums. They've got a lot of knowledge between. But look at this. He does great work. And very authentic, and he knows color schemes and everything about these things. It's really fun to listen to. Learn a lot. Oh, look at this. Kids, look away. Sometimes they painted shabby girls on the airplanes. Oh, look at. I'm telling you, being at this show is just so cool. Look how tiny this little Huey helicopter is. Again, it's just the detail on these That's a half a sheet of paper. That could have been from the Red Baron model kit. I know they once included that. Telling you, for not being a plane guy, you will become a plane guy after coming to a show like this, seeing the talent and skills and the variety of the kits and the scratch builds that these guys were doing is just very, very inspiring. Look at that. Look at this. That was a model. That Tommy gun was a model. This was just released. That Little Red Baron. If you go to tomdaniel.com, you can buy a signed kit from him. Tell him Johnny Roman sent you from Chicago. I'm telling you, that guy's amazing. Look at these. These are all model kits under miscellaneous. Look at these guns. And I'm telling you, that Tommy gun sitting on, it looks real. I think the handles are wood on it, but it is a model kit. Look how authentic that looks. Look at the wood grain on that. I'm telling you, driving, this is a kit, first line. But you imagine driving somewhere, getting pulled over? Oh, that is just crazy. Look at this. This is a beautiful little gun. And again, this is a miscellaneous, so look at the details on this. That is just very cool. Just fun stuff. I love this type of stuff. It's so goofy. Little feathers on the end of the wings. Here's an adult section of the Tom Daniels. Look at that. That is beautiful. Again, that's released, and I think this little tarantula was just released too. So, again, go to tomdaniel.com. You can get them, and he'll sign the box for you. Here's a Bad Medicine. Awesome. Awesome build. It looks like it's kind of an older build, but look at this. There's nothing like a good old Tom Daniels. The Popper Chopper. And I forget what that one in the back is. Oh, back to the airplanes. Adam, what do you think? Good? Like them? Saul, I don't know if you're into airplanes. Dave and Maisie, I'm telling you, you can start some of those Tom Daniel snap kits. They're pretty simple and easy. Now, Maisie, you gotta grow up a little bit before you can build, but you can build at an early age. Some of those snap kits are good. Look at that. It's like a glider and the host plane, but the glider's huge. It's just so cool. I'm telling you. Something scaled or a diorama like this, it just has always fascinated me. The skill levels of these guys putting these things together. The details, I mean, all the little wires and threads that are actually properly represented, and then they take the skin off and show you the structure and frame of the planes, the engines and all the workings, and they're putting copper pipes in there and copper plumbing. I mean, it's just amazing. I like it when they got the mirror and you can see underneath. Look at that plane. Look at that little threads just tying everything together. Here's the Sci-fi. Look at these Robotons. You know I can, if it's a transformer, I can transform it, but there are some pretty cool things. Now look at this. See this? That is paper. They built that all out of paper. Is that nuts? I love this. I mean, whoever this paper sculptor is just outstanding in their craft. Again, I don't know if it's male or female, but look at this. paper model. Oh, that is just too cool for me. That's got to be one sharp X-Acto to cut all that. Look at the details on this thing. Again, this is just a scale little airplane. And look at all that details on underneath. That just is amazing. There were so many man hours represented in this model show. I can't even imagine how many hours by everything added up. And I'm telling you, table after table after table. Totally cool. This sci-fi area was just really fun. Look at these X-Wing fighters. Just really well done. Great detail. Now, I don't know if there's weathering in space or just, but they've got them weathered up. Maybe the dirt from the engine, you know, or exhaust or flames. I don't know what that would do in space, but looks cool. Look at that. That is wild. Totally wild. Little walker. Now this one, again, I'm not a Star Wars guy or whatever. I love the design of that. The way that the pilot's sitting up on the top and everything flies crooked. That is just so cool. I was hoping the camera would focus in. It just really didn't on that pilot. The pilot was really detailed out on this one. Look at this. I love the X-Wing on a rock coming around a space boulder. Really did a nice job with that. I think I'm going to suggest next year that they close all these blinds because the glare coming in from the window really deters from the models. This one was set up with a black light and everything just really glowed nice, but by the time I got around to video it, they turned the light off. Look at this. Again, paper. Look at that. That, I believe, is paper as well. Pretty wild. Now, I never built any of these things, but man, I appreciate all the work that it takes to build one. Oh, look at these. These are pretty sweet. Sci-fi and real space vehicles. Here's that fighter again, just really cool. Just so asymmetrical. I love that about this. Look at this. It's paper. I'm telling you that whoever's doing the paper stuff was just outstanding.
Hi, how are you? Pretty good. Yeah, how are you?
A little bit of everything here. Big robots.
Another one too. Yeah, somebody's doing
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure on some of these things, but I know you guys know. Very cool. Yeah, I like this one. And this one too. Just so cool. Oh, these tanks were really good. And it looks like, you know, you can tell by the diorama that, you know, the same person did all these. But look at the details and the weathering on this. The camouflage. I mean, these were really well done. Look at this. I'm digging it. It's just so cool. And again, this level, I don't think I could reach. It would take me a while. Oh boy. Just amazing. Beautifully done. The landscaping is beautifully done in, scale, and still has all the little weeds and stuff. It's very realistic looking to me. Seeing it in person is totally different than on film, but man, oh man, look at this. Oh, this one is custom made. It's made out of a resin top, I think, to replicate this vehicle that's on this piece of paper right behind it. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, look at this. There it is. Is that wild? I mean, someone finds a picture of this in a history book or on the internet. Here's some information on it. You can read up on it. Look at this. And then they build the thing. Oh, this is amazing, isn't it? Oh, I was digging this. I don't know what this is. I think it's a World War I, right? Tank. But what are those wheels out in front? And then you got a chicken coop on top. That's pretty cool. Oh, pretty amazing. It's another one. Look at the gun turrets on the side. This is just so cool. Again, this show is wide variety of images. I'm digging the camouflage scheme on that. Oh, I'm telling you, there's so many cool things. Now, I think this driver's a little whack-jack in there. I think he got jostled in the move or transportation of it, or maybe when he set it up or someone bumped it. I don't know. Don't touch someone else's models at one of these shows. They know exactly how to hold it and stuff. There's signs everywhere. Don't touch, don't this, don't that. Oh, back to cars. Look at these. These are large scale and great detail. Look at this. That's just amazing. I love it when they take the body off so you can see the interiors. Look at that. Just so much detail in it. And it, larger scale, it's easier to work with, I think. But at the same time, it shows a lot more mistakes in that bigger scale, too. So do any of you guys build out there? Hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I am. I just really dig it. Oh, look at this. Pretty sweet. Again, some of these car finishes were just amazing. Here are these stockers again up close. Look at the details on those engines, taking the air cleaners off and seeing down into it. Just pretty sweet. Nice convertible. Look at that. Just the engine details are just beautiful. Very great show. Great builds all around. They're just, and the neat thing about it is the longer you stay there, the more models that come in. Here's that paper Model A again. It just amazes me. Paper. First glance, you're like, hey, that's not quite right. But look at the finish on this one. Oh, I know that was a quickie, but oh, look at this. I'm telling you, these cars, just beautiful. Really well done. Just trying to get an idea and show you guys a little bit of everything. Hopefully you guys will show up at your local model contest. You get to see your own kits and own talents from your area. Skeleton driving, pretty funny. Oh, again, there's such a variety. I mean, to be a judge in one of these shows, it's not really tight in the judging, but you know, they're not counting exact bolts and stuff, but they want things straight, like that wheel's whack-a-lack-a-jack attack. Do you see that? On that front wheel. Again, you know, overall that's a fantastic model. But, you know, even if you're transporting it, I heard that if you break it in transit, that you can just write that the wheel broke off in transit or something, just so the judges know. Because some of these things are pretty fragile. Look at this, back to the planes. A couple new ones came in. Got their own little table. So I thought I'd come back and show you. It's a pretty large scale plane there. This one I thought was pretty amazing. Look at the details in that cockpit. Just so cool. Great weathering on this one all around on the wings. Look how they're weathered. I mean, it's just beautifully done. And this was a larger scale plane. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. We're coming to the end. I mean, there's a lot here, a lot to be seen. I know it's kind of a long video, but thanks for coming into the supper club to watch this. I mean, this is just my passion. Look at the details. Is that crazy? Every little detail is really paid attention to, and look at all the weathering on this. Just so cool. Got the body parts off to expose the engine. Now that could be an aftermarket part, you know, part kit, or again, when you get into modeling, it's just like, you know, doing die cast. You get into it and it can go crazy at times. Balance, baby, balance. That's the hard thing to do for all of us. Every model kit guy there probably has 300 models, and you know, they build 2 or 3 a year. You know, you gotta live an extra 60, 70 years beyond normal just to get them done. Teach your kids how to build models. Look at this one. That's sweet. I like this one. I came back to it. Just kind of fun. Some of these paint jobs are just amazing on these things. And there were vendors there that actually had these nose pieces already for you, so you could put them on, and they're designed for each specific plane. A lot of decal vendors there. Look at that. Again, that one was sweet. Hey, thanks for coming into the supper club. We'll get back to cars soon. Johnny Roman, Toy Car Case. I know you're a toy car case guy out there. It is 3:16 on Old Johnny Clark. Let's see what pulled into our parking lot. Hit that subscribe button and you won't miss out. Don't you wish you had that? This is the place to be.